doing this? We're actually doing this. Okay, alright, here we go guys. This is going to be welcome to Avoiding the Guitar Lesson episode 1. So this is going to be the first of at least one of my educational series here on the channel. So my first thought in terms of doing guitar lessons on this channel was to help Denise learn to play guitar. She's already started. She can do a few things. She knows some chord shapes and all that sort of stuff. And I likely will bring her into this at some point. It'll probably be 2 different parallel series. Because I also want to have a series where I can just talk to you guys about certain techniques or just learning about certain specific things that are maybe outside what me and Denise are going to be doing. So yeah, that said, the other reason I kind of hesitated to do this series in the first place is because I don't in any way, shape, form, or fashion think I'm the most amazing guitar player on the planet. I know that I'm not. My favorite players totally 100% blow me out of the water. They're like 3 or 4 times the player and the songwriter that I am, by my own measuring anyway. That being guys like John Brown, Ollie Steele, Jeff Loomis, Marty Friedman, so on and so forth. But that said, I think that we all have things that we can teach each other, and sometimes by teaching is the best way to learn yourself or to help remember things. And in addition to that, you just never know who you may reach with stuff like this. So if I'm going to help somebody improve their guitar playing, take their playing to a level that they're more comfortable with, I'm super happy with that. And that's really my goal, is to help you reach your goals. Alright, so my thoughts on guitar lessons. To me, with the internet being a thing, here you are on the internet, at this point, I feel like the most important thing that a guitar teacher can do for a student is to be able to talk with them. And not only through that, just be able to kind of help analyze their mistakes, show them where they may be going wrong, and show them, just help them, nudge them along on the right path as they continue to learn how to play. And I'm here to do that for you guys. On all my videos, I'm very responsive to comments, but very much so here in these series, I'm here for you. If you comment here, you're going to get a response from me unless it's something great. As long as you comment a question or a comment about learning to play guitar, I'm here for you. You can consider me something of a proxy of your teacher, you know. And if there's something you want me to cover here, we can do that. But anyway, that said, let's go ahead and kind of start to talk about this stuff. So, when I was playing guitar in high school, I started learning to play guitar in 10th grade. I pretty quickly started to surpass my friends that had got me into guitar. I had already learned how to play the saxophone. There you go, fun fact. First instrument I learned to play was the saxophone. So I knew a little bit about music. But all that my friends were doing was learning Avenged Sevenfold on, they learned tablature of Avenged Sevenfold. And I did that with them as well. All of that. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Still to this day, when I want to learn songs or do covers or something, I go to tablature. But that said, nowadays, I get the most joy from writing my own riffs, writing my own songs, and really just being able to confidently play riffs and stuff in demo equipment for you guys. This channel was originally something to help keep me interested in playing guitar. And it's been great. So that said, like I said, I started to blow past my friends that were learning how to play guitar because all they did was learn tablature. What I eventually started to do was learning scales. And when you first pick up the guitar, 9 times out of 10, if you grab any beginner book or anything, they're going to run you through the pentatonic scale. And the blues scale. Which is fine, but I was aware that the pentatonic scale, the blues scale, tended to be the foundation of blues and rock music, which was cool, but I was more interested in the Iron Maidens and eventually the Killswitches and Gages, the Ozzy Osbournes, and that type of stuff. And when you get into those guys, you realize that they're more so drawing from the major and minor scales. And 100%, it was so funny. Like, as a kid in 10th, 11th grade, 12th grade, people started to see like, oh man, he's so good at guitar. Because all I wanted to do was learn how to play fast and play lead stuff. And I did learn those scales in a few positions and everything. And really, that's all it took to be quote unquote impressive. You learn to play those scales really fast. That said, I want to emphasize learning those scales to you because they're the foundation for, like, in my opinion, like modern metal riff writing, metal, like prog, all that sort of stuff. They're based in just knowing your scale shapes. I don't know a whole heck of a lot of theory. There was a time when I dove really deep into modes and all that sort of stuff, but after a while I realized that just knowing the major and by consequence the minor scale in a few different positions, that was enough for me, and that's kind of where I just ended up getting comfortable with. So and don't worry about the fact that I play a 7th string. So literally, knowing scales like that just gives you a framework of the right notes. It helps you play the right notes. If you write a song and it just contains notes that are within the same scale, within the same key, your song is going to be right. And then from there, it's just on you to make it sound cool. Literally, at a high level, just looking at it generally, when I'm thinking about writing riffs, for the most part, other than very few pieces and everything, I'm thinking about taking the notes of a scale in a given key, using the major or minor scale, and making them sound rhythmically interesting and cool. And chords and everything. Chords is the same thing. Any chords that you play, as long as the notes of your chord fall within that scale and thus within that same key, what you're playing is correct. And again, it's just on you to make it sound cool. And that's where the creative freedom starts to come in. So anyway, we can get into all that sort of stuff eventually. All I want to say to you today is to take the time to learn the 3-note per string major and minor scales. So I'm saying major and minor scales. What does that mean? So to keep this high level again, let's take, alright, I'm in half step down tuning, but we'll pretend that I'm not. So we're going to say the A minor scale. That's the scale. Yeah, we're gonna talk minor here because it's metal. So A minor is the scale that has no sharps and no flats. That's played like this on a standard tuned guitar. I'm half step down. We're gonna pretend that this is A minor. That's the A minor scale. But the C major scale, that's the exact same notes I just played, just starting and ending on a different note. This note right here. Or A minor, C major. It's the same notes, just where you start and where you end kind of matters. But again, ultimately, it kind of doesn't. Because when you get to the process of writing a song and writing riffs, it's all about just putting them in an order to make them sound cool. So yeah, we can call that this kind of the intro to this being a thing. Between now and the next time that I upload a video in this series, what I want you to do is take the time to, if you haven't, start brushing up on your knowledge of the major and minor scales. So, and this is the nice thing about guitar, because it's symmetrical, it doesn't matter. So if you know the shapes of the major or a minor scale, you know it in any key for the most part. You may not know it well, like you may not be able to just jump to do it quickly, but so if I want to, again, we're pretending that I'm in standard tuning here. A major I'm sorry, A minor scale, A sharp minor scale, I just move up one and start it here. B minor, so on and so forth. Literally wherever I start, if I play the same shape, I'm playing that minor scale by playing that shape. So if you want to really dive headfirst into this, I very much recommend the book, The Guitar Grimoire. That's the book that I use to learn these scale shapes and everything. And like I said, it's super, super helpful in getting you going. But yeah, getting familiar with those shapes is going to be the basis to learning how to play some really cool metal guitar licks. Your own metal guitar licks. It's so funny, man. Like, I felt like, again, I was kind of the cool kid, well, the cool in this sphere kid in high school because I knew these scale shapes and everything, and I could do stuff that people didn't know how to do. And part of me was kind of jealously guarding the idea of learning scales and everything because I was like, man, everybody's gonna start sounding exactly like me. Because in my mind, I didn't feel like I was doing anything all that creative with the scale shapes. I wasn't the fastest player around, but I could do some cool stuff. I was like, man, if everybody knows how to play scales, they're gonna sound exactly like me, and then I'm not gonna be special anymore. That's not a good mindset to have. So yeah, this is me now telling you, go try and learn the 3-note per string major and minor scale shapes. And again, it's the same. They're just different shapes, but it's the same notes. If you learn the notes start on a minor scale, just because this is metal. If you can play 3-note per string minor scale across the fretboard just in one position, you're doing good. That's a great place to start. But yeah, so like I said, I want this to be an interactive series. So if you guys have questions or anything about guitar playing or anything that's like tripped you up to this point, ask down in the comment section. There's no stupid questions. I'm here to help you as best I can. I'm either going to respond to your question or you'll see it the next time I do a video on this. But yeah, let's have fun with this. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Take care.